In this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 best moments of all time in the World Cup, in my opinion, in my lifetime. Let's make that perfectly clear. But before we get into it, make sure you press subscribe. I've got loads of content coming through in the World Cup and beyond that, going into the new football season. And I want to keep you around and make some content for you. So stick around and press subscribe. And let's get into the video. So, I am not that old. I'm 24. My first World Cup memories are briefly from the 2010 World Cup, which I don't remember that much of because I was 8 years old. But 2014 onwards is kind of my range. 2018 and 2022 I remember a lot more fondly. They're more recent. I was a lot older. And yeah, so there is going to be some moments in here that perhaps I'm going to have missed out. Like, I'm not going to put stuff like the Maradona handball or England winning it in 19... because I wasn't alive. It's not a memory for me. It's not a moment for me. I'm doing my own personal moments. So let's just kick into it. Starting with number 10, we've got Missy Batshuayi hitting himself in the face with the ball against England. I thought this was one of the funniest moments I've ever seen in football. It's Belgium versus England. It's in the group stages. Belgium have gone... I can't remember what the score was, but Belgium had just scored. Batshuayi picks the ball up and goes to kick it into the net and ends up hitting himself in the face with the ball. It's absolutely hilarious, and I just remember just pissing myself laughing. It was so funny. Number 9 then, we have one of the most iconic moments in football. We have Suarez's handball against Ghana. So obviously, Ghana had a chance to be the first African nation into a World Cup semi-finals, but Uruguay were in their way. And Ghana, a surefire to score. The keepers come out, and Suarez handballs it in the box to save it, basically. He acts as the goalkeeper, gets himself sent off, and Ghana end up missing the penalty, and Uruguay end up winning the game and going through. And, you know, if you're a Ghana fan at that point, you're thinking, oh, just what a shame for him. But it was unbelievable what he did. Yeah, I don't think we have had moments like that, but on that kind of stage, I don't think we've ever seen a handball as important and intentional and as scrutinised. Suarez, obviously not one of the most likeable characters in football ever. He's obviously one of the most controversial, and that didn't help his reputation and character at all. And number 8, arguably one of the best goals in World Cup history, I've got Benjamin Pavard's goal against Argentina. Just an absolute screamer of a volley from the edge of the box, and Argentina were one of the favourites going into the tournament. France obviously went on to win the tournament, and Pavard, who was kind of an unknown new right back / centre back on the block at the time, and he really announced himself with a fantastic, one of the best goals I've ever seen at a World Cup in my lifetime, personally. Number 7 then is Messi on Gvardiol in the World Cup. I think it was the quarterfinals in 2022. I think if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm definitely a Messi over Ronaldo, and this was a time when Messi had just joined the MLS and everyone was saying he was done and he had basically retired, and Gvardiol was rumoured to be joining Man City. He was at Leipzig at the time. He had over £100 million value, apparently one of the most talked about defenders in the world. And Messi just skinned him like it was 2015 again, and as if Gvardiol wasn't this up and coming. Like, it just looked like a complete rookie, and it was, yeah. It was a moment like that made you think Messi might actually go on and win this. Like, with how he was playing, it was one of the best individual performances we've ever seen at a World Cup, and that was just one of them moments from him. Number 6 is a personal one. I mean, they're all personal, but I don't think this would have been on many people's list, but it's actually Morocco beating Spain 3-0 on penalties. I was in uni at the time when this happened. We were watching it in class, and I remember there was like 2 Spanish lads, and we all had it on, and I just remember everyone just pissing themselves laughing at them when Morocco won on penalties. And obviously it was just a big shocking moment. Spain have obviously been getting better and better, and for Spain to go out in the quarterfinals to Morocco, Morocco obviously becoming the first ever African side to reach the semi-finals, and it was the way that it happened. Spain didn't score a single one. It was 3-0. Spain didn't score a single penalty. It was just, you know, Bonu was class at the time, and yeah, it was really shocking, and just one of them moments that was like, wow. Number 5 then, I've got Mbappe in the 2018 final. Obviously, he's 2022 performance was a hell of a lot better and arguably one of the greatest games of football ever. But me personally, I've gone for the 2018 one just because watching it as a 16-year-old, and this 18-year-old is only 2 years older than me, has just basically announced himself on the world stage, and just watching that game, you realise that you were just watching a new star in the making, and you knew that this kid was going to go and be one of the best in the world, and he did. His World Cup performances ever since have spoke for themselves. I know he didn't win in 2022, but he ended up winning that one in 2018. He could very well win this one in 2026. And yeah, it was one of them games where, like, obviously I wasn't old enough to watch Messi come through and Ronaldo come through, but that was a day that I saw, and it sort of confirmed to me one of the next big stars in football, and it was a great game from him. Number 4 is another funny one. It turned into a meme on the internet. It's that little airport kid to Ronaldo after Portugal had got knocked out. I'll try and see if there's a video that I can play if you don't understand. You'll get it from the screenshot, I assume, if you were watching the 2022 World Cup. But I just thought it was hilarious, and as someone that just really hates Ronaldo, it was quite funny to see him get just took the piss out of by a literal child. It was a shame what that kid ended up getting because of the toxicity from people that like Ronaldo. That girl ended up getting a load of abuse and death threats and whatnot. It's literally a child. But yeah, that's football for you, I guess, and that's the shame of it. But it was a hilarious moment nonetheless. So moving into the top 3 then. And my third place is England beating Colombia on penalties in the 2018 World Cup. This was one of them World Cups where just every game I felt like England could do it. They could do it. Like, it was getting closer and closer. One thing that England could never do was win on penalty shootout, and we got it out of the way. With Gareth Southgate as manager, who famously missed the Euro 96 penalty against Germany, which was one of our best chances to win a major tournament. We got over the line. Jordan Pickford making some fantastic saves. And then I think Eric Dyer scored the winning penalty. And I remember being in an Xbox party with a mate at the time and both just screaming over the mic England had won a penalty shootout. And it was from that moment then that you thought England might actually go all the way. Obviously it didn't end up happening. But yeah, that summer, the summer of 2018, I left school that year, and it was just... everything about that summer was just brilliant up until we lost to Croatia. But yeah, that's my number 3. My number 2 then, and I think this is more of a football fan than anything else, and it was Messi lifting the World Cup. I think as someone who was growing up my favourite player of all time, I think everybody wanted him to win it who wasn't a Ronaldo fan. And it was just one of those moments that is such a feel-good moment. Even as someone who's not Argentinian or from Spain to support Barcelona, it's just when you followed this guy for practically his whole career and you finally see him lift the thing that he couldn't win after basically being asked to retire from Argentinian fans and did retire at one point from international football, and to get that World Cup, and it was just, yeah, it was a moment for football that I don't know if there'll be another player on his, not speaking on ability, but just another player that's so, like, globally celebrated. Like, I don't think anyone will ever want someone to win the World Cup that much than the amount of people that wanted Messi to win the World Cup. So it was such a unique time period, and yeah, it was fantastic, wasn't it? And my number 1 moment, this is just, it's such a shame how the game went, but it's Trippier's free kick against Croatia. We went 1-0 up in a World Cup semi-finals. This was a game where we watched it in the living room with basically my entire immediate family. And just that goal going in and watching like everybody in the room just go absolutely apeshit mental was... I don't think we'll get that moment again. And like obviously now I've grown up a bit and I'm not living at home anymore. And yeah, it's just... It was one of those things, you know... I think it came at the perfect time as well, especially in my lifetime, being 16, just leaving school in a personal time period of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but personally, that moment was just unbelievable, and it's such a shame the way the game went at the end of the day. So that's my list. I hope you agreed, but I guess you can't. It's a personal list, but feel free to let me know what your personal memories are. I'm sure there's a lot I missed out, but again, this was a personal opinion list, so I cannot be wrong. I hope you enjoyed. As again, make sure to subscribe. There's lots of content coming soon over the next couple of months and going forward, and hopefully I'll manage to stick out of it. And I'd love you to see the videos I've got coming. So yeah, I'll see you later.